I would get to the barn 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And there were a lot of times that I didn't get home until midnight or so. When I went to my first TYB, I literally was at rock bottom with my business. We had a partnership that had just fallen apart. I thought that my business was going to be over because all of that was gone. I had spent my very last of my savings to come to TYB and to do the initial down payment for the Mastermind program. I now work roughly 12 to 14 hours a week.
A week?
A week. I make 4 to 5 times more than I did before.
I am here with Nikki Wild, and Nikki attended the Transform Your Business 2-day seminar, and then she also participated in my 6-month-long mastermind and mentorship program. And just so proud of Nikki and what she has done. And she was just thrilled to share with all of you some of the changes that she's made. And so hopefully this can help you by hearing her story. So Nikki, maybe you can share what your business is, where you live, and what it is that you do.
I am a cowboy dressage level 2 clinician and endorsed judge. I live in Utah. A lot of private lessons, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of horses in training. I would get to the barn at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And there were a lot of times that I didn't get home until midnight or so. I was happy thinking that that was the way it was supposed to be, because that's generally what you see. That's kind of how it goes. That was what I thought the industry standard was. If I would have continued on that route, I would have crashed. There's no way that it just wasn't sustainable. You just can't maintain that kind of schedule for any amount of time. When I went to my first TYB, I literally was at rock bottom with my business. We had a partnership that had just fallen apart. And so I lost the ability to use the indoor arena, the ability to train out of there, the ability to have students come, horses in training. I thought that my business was going to be over because all of that was gone. So then I had no idea how I was going to make ends meet, support my own horses. That was my sole income at the time. I didn't have any other options.
I know you came to the 2-day seminar and then you signed up for the mastermind. That must have been pretty scary at that moment.
I literally had no idea how I was going to pay for it. Not even a clue. I knew that it was what I was supposed to do, but I had no idea how I was going to pay for the mastermind or anything else.
I'm just so impressed by the courage that it took to jump into something like that and to, invest in yourself. What made you be able to do that? What on the inside of you enabled you to take that leap?
First and foremost, you have been a huge driving factor in everything I've done with my horses. And you've never steered me wrong. And I know that if you had a process like you did with horsemanship that helped people's businesses, I absolutely knew without a shadow of a doubt that I could jump in with both feet and that somehow it would work out because it worked for you. And if it worked for you and you had made a process out of it, then I know that it would work for me as well. So there was just a huge leap of faith. And I knew I was a hard enough worker to actually get it done. I just didn't know exactly how. And that's where you came in. And so I had spent my very last of my savings to come to PYB and to do the initial down payment for the Mastermind program.
You trusted yourself. You knew your value and you just needed to get some help. What's different now? Paint a picture of how things are different.
I have a house with my own facility attached. Instead of teaching sometimes up to 14 people a day and then riding the horses in training on top of that, I now work roughly 12 to 14 hours a week.
A week?
A week.
You're my hero.
And I travel when I want to, and I teach when I want to. I get to do it because I want to, just because I don't have to. And that really changes the way that you look at your work. If you don't have to do it and you do it just because you love it and it brings joy into your life, it changes everything.
Now that you're working in 12 hours a week, how does the income compare? Are you making ends meet?
I make 4 to 5 times more than I did before.
I can remember, Nikki, at one point you're like, I just cut my hours in half and doubled my income. And then the next time I saw you, you're like, I just cut my hours in half again and doubled my income again.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
There's a lot of stuff that I teach in the TYB and in the Mastermind. In the Mastermind, really, we teach the same thing as in TYB. We just kind of get it done. What were the pieces? Because now I'm sure people are listening going, what did she do? Like, exactly. So what were some of the key elements? Was it the leverage? Was it attracting the ideal student? Like, what was the piece?
All of those. The first thing I did was going from private lessons to group lessons. That was really big.
So leveraging. Yep.
Yes, leveraging your time that way. The other thing that I did that made a huge difference in my hourly work week was I leveraged my more advanced students and they started teaching. Now I have advanced students who are starting to teach.
Nice. So yeah, you've really put yourself in a different leadership role.
It just feels good to go to work.
And how has this all impacted you on a personal level? We talk a lot about the business, right? But how's Nikki the person?
I have not ever been happier. It's just amazing how things turn out, because that initial leap of faith, I mean, I imagined that I could have about half of what I have now.
Wow.
And instead it's quadrupled even my highest expectations. I actually had to do a brand new dream board this year, because everything that I had set out to do or get or make or be or try, I had done all of those things that I wanted to. And I really had to even open myself up for 2022, because I had done all of the things that I wanted to. It's pretty incredible to
get
be
goosebumps.
I didn't think it was possible. I mean, I did think it was possible. I didn't think it was probable. But I proved myself wrong, thanks to you.
In the most beautiful way, you proved yourself wrong. I'm getting chills. It's just so cool to see what you've done. Oh my goodness. That's pretty inspirational. If you could boil things down to a piece of advice or a couple pieces of advice for somebody who was just like you were before you came to the first Transform Your Business, what would be some advice for them?
Dream big, really big, because someday you're going to find yourself with all of your dreams and you're going to have to get new ones. So make them bigger than you even think is possible and then double it. I love that saying, know your worth and then add tax. And trust Karen's process because she's done it and now she has students who have done it, and you can absolutely do it too. And it doesn't take any special skills or anything else. You just have to like work the system. You just have to figure out really, really, really what your heart beats for, and then how to leverage that and how to maximize your time. It's just amazing the process that you've outlined. Things that you didn't even know you wanted just come into your life and end up being the biggest blessing.